I hope you all are ready for your monthly dose of book unboxings because I have everything here that I received in July to open up for you guys. So we are missing a box this month, which is the Illumicrate. It is going to start shipping very soon, but I just didn't want to put a pause on getting this video out to you guys. So that's fine. We will roll the July Illumicrate over into August and I'll open it for you there. We'll have a double Illumicrate feature. And in its place, actually, we do have an extra subscription box because the August GOLDSBORO arrived really early this month. So I thought while I have it, I might as well throw it in with the rest of the July unboxings. And it will actually balance them out a little bit because I think that the August unboxing is going to be slightly bigger than this one. So I do have 5 things to show you today. Most of them are actually just single boxes. There's only one box we have that has items in. I have, as I mentioned, the August GOLDSBORO Sci-Fi and Fantasy Fellowship. I was a little bit torn about this one and then I got an email saying that I'd used all of my skips. So I was like, I guess that makes my decision for me. The other thing that I've paid for that's going to be in this unboxing is the Ali Hazelwood Not In Love special edition from Afterlight, which is a romance subscription by Illumicrate. This one is a book that I purchased outside of their monthly subscription, and I don't think I've got a single Afterlight this year. I think I've skipped the rest of them, so I might have to cancel that if we get to the end of the year and I've had literally nothing. I think that that is definitely what's going to happen going forward with Afterlight, sadly. And then the last 3 that I had are rep packages from the lovely Fairyloot. So thank you as always to Fairyloot for providing boxes for me to open in these videos for you guys. I have all 3 of Fairyloot's monthly subscriptions here, which is the adult book only subscription. This one I did have to repackage into a different box that I had because while I was away they put it behind a plant pot and it was fine, but it had a bug on it and I swapped the box over. I haven't looked at the book though, it's still in the Fairyloot bag. I also have the Romantasy subscription and the regular young adult box. So if y'all are unfamiliar with Fairyloot, they are a UK-based subscription box. They do 3 monthly subscriptions, 2 book only, 1 with items, and they are all a brand new hardback release in their each respective genre. This one with a collection of Bookish goodies as well. While we have, I'm just going to adjust you slightly. There we go. While we have so many Fairyloots, I'm actually going to leave them till last, and we are going to be cracking on with the Afterlight box first, or should I say the Ali Hazelwood book. I'm surprised that because I haven't had a special edition from Afterlight or anything for most of this year. Oh, I got Bride by Ali Hazelwood. That was my last thing. Okay, I was gonna say I'm surprised that they are in such big boxes because it's just one book, but I remembered that I actually ordered the dust jacket. So I'm gonna say I'm a little bit annoyed about this. When you bought this book, you had the option of buying the book only or buying it with the dust jacket that matches the dust jackets that go with the rest of the books. Now, the reason why I'm annoyed about this is because I did buy the box that had the dust jackets in to start off with, but then the next Ali Hazelwood book that I got from Afterlight, which, are you okay? Which I believe was Check and Me, came with this dust cover art on the inside of the dust jacket on the book. So I'm like, well, why did I have to then pay extra to have a matching one when the last time I bought an Ali Hazelwood you provided it as like reverse dust jacket art? I don't like it, but I did want the dust jacket, so I did get that. Into the book to start off with, this one is of course Not In Love. The Illumicrate editions of these have a different colorway, so I will of course lay the original over the top so that you guys can see the difference. This one is a new Ali Hazelwood Steminist romance. I've given all of the Steminist ones 5 stars. I've heard that this one is a little bit steamy than the others are, and that is a direction that romance and also fantasy romance is going in now because it's incredibly popular because of the hype of book talk, etc. I'm not a fan. I enjoy spicy romance, but I think that there is a place for both very spicy romance and less spicy romance that's still a bit spicy, and I don't think that everybody has to push into super spicy books, especially when I've loved Ali Hazelwood's formula to date. If I remember correctly, because this is one of my anticipated releases of the year, this one is about a biotech engineer and the love interest is somebody who's trying to buy the business that she works for. So it's a little bit, I think, of a, not necessarily an enemies to lovers situation, but I don't think she's happy about the fact that him and his business partners are trying to buy this business. So for the Illumicrate edition, there's the different colorway, a solid sprayed edge, inside dust jacket art, which I'm a fan of. I like it. I also very much like this art style. And then instead of printing the cover on the reverse dust jacket, I did indeed pay for the alternate cover of this one, which I love this raspberry color. This is so cute. Moving on to the Goldsboro for August. The reason why I was torn and I couldn't make a decision on this is because it is a Greek myth retelling. It's a retelling, I'm pretty sure, of Psyche and Eros, which is not a myth that I'm very slightly familiar with it. It's not one that I see done a bunch in fiction. The synopsis of this did sound very interesting to me. The reason why I wasn't sure though is because I don't usually gravitate towards Greek myth retellings because they do tend to skew a little bit literary, and like literary fantasy, literary fiction is not usually my jam, and if it does like lean that way, then generally like I'm not too interested. So I'm not sure if this does lean more towards literary. We're gonna find out when I pick it up, but it is called The Palace of Eros by Caro de Robertis. We have a stenciled sprayed edge on here with a nice ombre. All of the Goldsboro science fiction and all of the books at Goldsboro are signed and numbered first editions, and this one is number 1953 of 2000, so it's quite a way up there. All I know about this, or all I remember, is that it is a Psyche and Eros retelling, so I am actually going to read you the dust jacket of this one. It says, young headstrong Psyche has captured the eye of every suitor with her beauty, but also unfortunately the jealous gaze of the goddess Aphrodite. As punishment, Psyche is tied to a rock to be sacrificed to a monstrous husband, and yet no monster arrives. Instead, she is spirited away by Aphrodite's daughter Eros. Eros, goddess of desire, can change gender at will, and in her hidden palace she visits her bride under the cloak of darkness. Psyche is forbidden to gaze upon the face of her lover, but as they explore each other's bodies and discover new pleasures, Psyche is tempted to break her vow, even if it brings down the wrath of gods. And at the bottom here it says, a gloriously anarchic and seductive retelling of the myth of Psyche and Eros, groundbreaking, gender fluid, and hugely enjoyable. This is a masterpiece from Caro de Robertis, a writer described by Madeline Miller as brilliant and luminous. So I do think it is going to skew a little bit literary, but the synopsis did intrigue me, so we'll see how I feel. I have read, in terms of Greek myth retellings like this, I have read The Song of Achilles. I enjoyed it. I didn't love it. Maybe this will be similar. We'll see. So into the Fairyloots. The YA is on top, so this one is the one that we will start with. As always, I have spoiled myself for all of these, but at this point I'm now looking ahead at what September's books are going to be, so I have no recollection of what we have for July. I think we have a very blue colour palette going on from what I can tell just opening the box. The theme is Tale as Old as Time for this month, and if you guys would like to read the spoilers, you can pause here and take a look. But as always, I don't need to tell y'all know I will be going in blind. The first thing that we have in here, I think, is one of these little pop-up baskets that I like. I have one in the bathroom for like the toiletries that I use every day and like cotton buds and stuff. And I think the other one might be in my bedroom, but they are just, I don't even know, what are they technically called? Just a basket. This one is inspired by Six Crimson Cranes. I'm guessing from the Tale as Old as Time theme that it's going to be like things inspired by fairy tales. I wonder if the book is like related to Beauty and the Beast. We also have this. I'm very intrigued by the apples on it. Oh, it's another spoon. That's cute. So in one of the Fairyloots a few months ago, probably it could even be last year at this point, there was a little fairy spoon with a mushroom top. This one is the same, but it has an apple and it says the fairest of them all on there. These are obviously not very practical. They're just decorative. I'm not sure how many more of these I'm gonna need, but they are really cute. We also have some coasters. It's been a while, I think, since we've had coasters in a Fairyloot. Coasters are another thing that I have a lot of, but these ones are inspired by the Lunar Chronicles, which are, of course, all fairy tale retellings. So we have Winter, Scarlet. This is a real test of my knowledge. Cress, no, not Cress, Cinder, and Cress. I like the background on here and how it's kind of like stained glass window, but also like technology focused for the sci-fi of the Lunar Chronicles. Is this? Okay, the next item is in a box that says that it's a vase. I hope it's not them plastic ones that we got in the Afterlight that time. No, it isn't. Oh my god, thank you. So this is really cool. I actually saw these in an ad on Instagram a few weeks ago and I was like, okay, they're cool, but I personally don't love flowers, so I don't have the need for a lot of vases. I do have just like one crystal one for the rare occasion that I do get flowers, but this one is printed with Once Upon a Time. You also don't have to have this as a vase. You could fill it with like pebbles or sand just to have it as a display piece. But I do think that this is cool as a new item that I haven't seen before in a subscription box, and something that I've like recently seen on Instagram as like a relatively new Bookish product. Can you? Thank you. Oh, I thought we were done, but we actually have one more item, which is a fairy tale sticker set. Oh, there's actually quite a lot of stickers in here. Normally with subscription, put that down. Thank you. Normally with subscription boxes, we just get one sticker sheet, but this one has 3 in it. I don't love stickers because I'm an indecisive person and I have commitment issues. But I like stickers to have. I just find that I never really use them. The pink one might be my favorite, and I feel like that's a weird opinion for me to have because I'm not normally a pink person, but there we go. So before we get into the book for this month, we have the tarot cards. In every Fairyloot box, you get 2 tarot cards with the idea that if you get enough Fairyloots, you will also have a full deck of tarot. So this month we have the 7 and 8 of Suns, and these characters are from Sleep Like Death by Kaylin Bayron, which I think actually may be the book of the month. But we're about to find out anyway. In here, before we get to the book, we have the monthly fairy scoop and the bookmark with the spoiler card art on. And I think, yeah, it goes this way. This one is, yes, Sleep Like Death by Kaylin Bayron. So I will overlay the original cover over the top so that you guys can see the difference. I think that this might be a complete custom cover, so I'm gonna check. Yes, so Kaylin Bayron does a series of these like fairy tale retellings. I'm assuming that this one is Snow White, and every one has like a person on the cover, so this is, as far as I can tell, like a complete custom. I really like it. I am a big fan of apples as well though, so I feel like that is why. This one also has a laser printed edge. We have really pretty foiled end paper art that is different on both sides. Oh, do we also have a reverse dust jacket? Yes, which is once again a different cover, and foiling on the naked hardcover as well. I think that we will also have in here, yeah, a bound-in letter from the author, and this one is definitely a YA Snow White retelling, but I will read you the actual synopsis. Eve is ready to be the Queen's sword, to be her vengeance. Princess Eve was raised with one purpose, to destroy the Knight, an evil sorcerer who terrorizes Queensbridge with his wicked magic. Far too many of her subjects have been devastated by the Knight's trickery, but Eve's own unique magic, the ability to conjure weapons from nature, makes her a worthy adversary. As she approaches her 17th birthday, Eve is ready to battle, but her mother, Queen Regina, has been acting bizarrely, talking to a strange mirror alone every night. When a young man claiming to be the Knight's messenger appears and shares a shocking truth about Eve's past, unsure of who to trust or what to do next, Eve must find the courage to fight, but will it be enough to save her family and her queendom? Bestselling author Kaylin Bayron returns to the world of her groundbreaking debut, Cinderella is Dead, with this captivating standalone reimagining of Snow White's tale. I have heard really good things about Kaylin Bayron. I don't feel particularly drawn to their books, because I feel like standalone fantasy fairy tale-esque stories aren't for me, because I feel like they're the kind of books that like you enjoy or I enjoy while I read them, but I don't think about them too much afterwards. But maybe I'll be surprised when I actually eventually pick up one of Kaylin Bayron's books. I think I also have, is it The Poison Heart? Yes. I definitely have The Poison Heart, and I've heard very good things about You're Not Supposed to Die Tonight and Cinderella is Dead. For the book onlys, we'll go with Romantasy first. I think that this is one of the ones that I've been more excited about because I think this one might be a fae romance. The theme is monstrous secrets, and the book of the month is The Wren in the Holly Library by K.A. Lind. I think that this is a custom cover. I'll overlay the original. Yeah, the standard cover looks almost literary, but I I'm actually like, I didn't realize, because I've been looking at this one on Waterstones and thinking that it maybe looks interesting, not realizing or not connecting that it was also a Fairyloot book. I really like this cover actually. I like the bookcases around the edge, and we have the cat here as well. We also have a printed edge. Ooh, foiled end papers. That guy is giving like suave Jacob Black. We also have a female main character. It's giving a like urban fantasy vibe that I wasn't expecting from the cover of this. And then under the dust jacket it is printed and also foiled. Synopsis, because I am intrigued. It says, in a world where, oh, it's not Fae. It is like more Shadowhunter, I think. It says, in a world where monsters are real, a thief should be careful who she steals from. Street thief Kies should have known something wasn't right. Now she's trapped in a library with a monster, and this man, this being filled with terrible power and darkness, is well within his rights to kill her. By trespassing, Kies has broken the fragile peace treaty between monsters and humans. But instead of killing her, Grace does the unexpected. He offers her a job, a chance to find out who she really is. Kies has always known she's different, that she can do things a little better, a little faster, and then there's that sense she has when danger is only a breath away. But if the old tales are true, there are worse things in the world than monsters. So I just noticed the cat's there as well. So I am still very interested in this. It's actually more intriguing from the synopsis, I would say, than the cover. I do feel like in general, through all of the cover variants of this book, there is a disconnect between the synopsis and the cover, because the synopsis is giving like urban fantasy vibes, like Shadowhunters, V. Schwab kind of things. Also maybe a little bit of like One Dark Window by Rachel Gillig kind of feel, although that one is like very high fantasy. And then the cover is given like high fantasy fairy tale-esque, which I'm just not getting from the synopsis. Regardless, this is still actually, even though I thought it was Fae and it isn't, it is one of the more intriguing synopses of the Fairyloot Romantasy books so far, and I hope that I end up enjoying this one. And then our final one is our adult box for the month. The theme for this one is living legends. I'm actually pretty sure that the reason why I skipped the GSFF for July is because it is the same as the adult Fairyloot, so we'll find out. Oh, it's got a gorgeous printed edge on here, and it goes this way up. The book is, I can't remember what it's called, The Night Ends With Fire by KX Song. Yes, this is the same as the GSFF book, and yes, it also has a different cover. Interestingly though, I think that it has kept, even though it's a completely different colorway as well, I think it's kept like key components of the cover but in like a different configuration, which I like. I also really love the art style on here. I think it's stunning. It's the color palette as well, actually. I really love purple and turquoise together, but the edge on here is really nice. I love the gold foiling on here, especially like the text on the back. We have once again foiled end papers, which are seeming to be a standard for Fairyloot at the minute. I feel like they go through periods where like they have a thing that is like present in every book. At the minute it's like foiled end papers. We also have another like kind of Fairyloot standard at the moment is having a reverse dust jacket. This one I think is the original cover, but still in a different colorway. The original cover is orange and red like the naked hardcover. I feel like from this you can get what I mean when I say it's the same cover but like a different reimagining of it, which is cool. I also just really like the turquoise and blue, but it is like one of my favorite color combinations. And then we also have the printed and foiled hardcover on here as well in the original fiery color scheme. So the synopsis on this one says, the three kingdoms are at war, but Malin's father refuses to answer the imperial draft. Trapped by his opium addiction, he plans to sell Malin for her dowry instead, but when she discovers that her husband-to-be is violent and ill-tempered, she decides to take matters into her own hands. The very next day, she disguises herself as a boy and enlists in her father's place, so we have Mulan vibes here for sure. In the army, Malin's hard work brings her recognition, friendship, and a growing closeness with Sky, a prince turned training partner. But as her kingdom barrels towards destruction, Malin must decide who to trust. Sky, who inspires her loyalty and love, a sea dragon spirit with the power to grant her impossible magic, or an infuriating enemy prince who makes her question everything she once knew about her kingdom, her loyalty, and her own heart. An epic fantasy retelling of Mulan, perfect for fans of the Poppy War and Six Crimson Cranes. I'm not a fan of the Poppy War and I have not read Six Crimson Cranes yet, but it is a book that I do expect to enjoy. So yeah, that was the adult Fairyloot book. So I'm going to ask you the question now. I definitely know what my answer is going to be, and I think you might too. But here are all of the books from my July unboxing. A very nice stack, I would say. Let me know in the comments which one of these you guys are most excited for, excited to read, or excited for me to read. And then here are our edges for the month. Now, I want to know, as usual, what your favorite edition of this stack is, but I don't think I need to tell you that mine is 100% The Night Ends With Fire by KX Song. I love this edition. It is stunning. So if you guys would like to leave me something in the comments but you don't feel like you have anything to say, feel free to leave me a dragon emoji. Once again, a big thank you to Fairyloot for providing the boxes, the Fairyloot boxes that I opened in this video. Y'all are the best. In my description box you are going to find a link to all of the websites for all of the boxes that I've opened in this video, as well as any discount codes I have, and also links to their social media. In my description box you are also going to find a link to my Goodreads, Instagram, and Patreon if you want to join me on any of those. But that is it from me today, guys. I'll see y'all soon. Bye.
Oh, you bite your friend like chocolate. You say you'll go where nobody knows, with guns hidden under our petticoats. We're never gonna quit it, no, we're never gonna quit it, no.